Hey BMA, coming to you again from this time Stevenson's Dam in northern Pennsylvania, just about a few miles northwest of Williamsport, Pennsylvania. What you see behind me is the Stevenson's Dam. There are a series of these dams across the northern part of Pennsylvania that play a crucial role in helping to prevent flooding from downstate Pennsylvania. So where our school is located in Hamburg, when hurricanes, etc., come along the eastern seacoast and hit and dump a lot of rain, these dams play a huge role in making sure that cities like Reading, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg are not flooded because they retain the floodwaters. But they only retain the floodwaters if they remain intact and the integrity of the dam is kept. So what happens when the integrity of a dam is compromised? Follow me, we'll take a look. So integrity is important in a lot of different ways, but especially when you're building dams. So the Stevenson Dam that we just looked at was one that was built carefully with integrity. But what happens when you take shortcuts? What happens when you do shoddy workmanship? Well, then the integrity of what you're working on is compromised. And here in Austin, there is a dam that was built in 1909, and the workers really didn't pay attention to the integrity of the dam. Well, what ended up happening was 2 years later, this. In 1911, 78 people lost their lives when this dam broke in the middle of the night, sending a wall of water 50 feet high and 500 feet wide down the canyon. Why? Because the integrity of this dam was failed. So what are we talking about when we talk about integrity and why it's so important? Well, these two dams, one was built meticulously, carefully, with integrity in mind. This dam that we're looking at, the Austin Dam, I want to show you a closer look at why the integrity of this dam, why it actually failed. So when you look closer at this dam, you notice, for example, this rock here. Workers that were working on the dam got tired of working and they decided to just take shortcuts. And they decided to find these large boulders and just throw it into the mix. Well, the problem with that is you can see that the concrete never adhered to the big boulders that were thrown in. And therefore, the integrity of this foundation was flawed. As we stand here at this spot where the dam has broken, you can actually see that it has broken right along a line of where these boulders were thrown into the concrete mix. So what about you? What about your foundation? Have you been careful with how you've built your foundation? Have you been careful that you haven't allowed large rocks to be thrown into your foundation? Or have you taken every big rock that comes along and thought, this will give me a shortcut, this will help me get to the finish line quicker? Maybe those blocks that you're throwing into your foundation are cheating in class. Maybe it's cheating on your friends, or lying, or gossiping, or talking behind their backs. Maybe it's relationships that are not appropriate. Are there ways that you are affecting the integrity of your foundation? So that's a question for you to ponder as you go through this school year. Are you taking care of your foundation?